Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits and to hang out with you. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can throw that emote back at me, the Lego emote, the Scythe emote, the Bear Cave emote. Harold is here. Harold is hosting the stream. Thank you, Harold. But yeah, we're going to hang out for a couple hours and build. That's the plan. We're going to see if a few more folks want to join us before we get going. I'm going to tilt that up a little bit here because it's a little light. Now, that's fine. Dude Wants His Rug is here. What's up, Dude Wants His Rug? It's fine if we have low numbers, you know. Thursday is generally my busier, livelier stream, so I'm hoping people join us. But I know that folks are worn out. They watched a lot of streams during Extra Life. There's, like a lot going on out there in the world, and Danny O'Dwyer is still streaming for the kids. But yeah, a lot of Extra Life streams this past week and this week as well. So I understand some people probably saving up their energy for Desert Bus for Hope, Loading Ready Runs, big charity stream that's coming up. So I understand there's a lot going on there. Now, a couple people renewed their subscriptions, and you don't have to. But if you can and you want to, you can hit that button to let us know that you renewed your subscription, because that rules. Hi, Ultron. I like seeing it. I like knowing. I like throwing the Bear Cave emote out there and saying, hey, thanks for renewing your subscription. It does mean the world to me. Our micro goal, mine seems to renew in the middle of the month, I think, says Ultron. Yeah, a lot of them do. 25 months from Lashbrook. That's 25 months streak. Using your Twitch Prime coin every month and remembering to do that. Because, folks, you got to manually renew with a Twitch Prime coin. And you have not missed a month, Lashbrook, for 25 months. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that very, very much. I'm going to drink a little water because my throat's dry. I didn't realize. Got to drink that water. Somebody asked me this on the other stream. Once the stream went over, they asked me about my water bottle. Because I used to just drink out of, like, a Poland Spring thing that I would throw out and get a new one every couple of weeks or whatever. But then I got this. It is a television program that it has not aired yet, and I am not convinced is real. It is M. Night Shyamalan's Apple TV show Servant, which debuts on Thanksgiving. And no footage of seems to exist anywhere, and I'm not sure it's real. Anyway, we're hanging out. I'm excited to have you folks in here. What a twist indeed. The twist is I don't think it's a real show, but that's my water bottle. But yeah, our micro goal right now is to hit 40 subscribers. We are at 38 right now, which is a good number, but I would love to get over 40. At the beginning of the year, we jumped all the way up. We were over 70 subscribers, and then that's an outlier. That was because I was laid off and people felt bad, which is nice of them. But I understand that was a outlier, and we slipped, and people moved on, and new subscribers come in, and I didn't end up joining anyone for Extra Life this year. That's usually a little bit of a boost, is when I do Extra Life or Waypoint Vices, Vice Gaming. If they do a thing, me jumping in there is often a bit of a boost as far as followers and subscribers go. Didn't hit that, which is okay. I'm totally all right with that this year. But I'm hoping to get a bit of a bump at some point. And, peek over that 40. But yeah, right now we're just kind of hanging out. We're going to get to building. We've got our Shenlong Gundam to build. Now, you can't see this in this shot. The overhead will show it well. But I did find the stickers that I couldn't find on Monday. The sticker sheet I had misplaced, and I found it. So I put the stickers that I didn't put on when I was supposed to on. So there's eyes, and it looks fine. Now, if you missed Monday, we finished the Gerbera, and I cracked open this new kit, the Shenlong. And I was excited to build the Shenlong, because this is the P. Bandai Shenlong. It was a new kit. You could pre-order it from Bluefin, and then you could You could buy it in various locations, mostly online. I bought it in New York Comic Con. And the whole thing was, well, it's Shenlong. It's the Shenlong we all know and love, but it's got a different, slightly different shield, and then also a big-ass cool sword. So it's the Shenlong, but with, like, cool shit, like a cool big sword. What I didn't realize was, and I won't be mad about this for anymore, but I am going to talk about it tonight, because the discovery happened. It's just the 2011 re-release, and then they added some pages. Like a Malibu Stacy with the new hat. Yeah. So, it's not a new version of the kit. It's not even a new printing of the instruction book. It's literally the 2011 re-release, which was barely an upgrade at all to the previous version. It was just 10 years later. So it's a 2011 re-release. And then they added instructions. They didn't reprint the book. They just added instructions. And in fact, the first instructions say, follow these instructions in place of page 13 and page 14 in this document for the MG1100 Shenlong. They're basically like, hey, don't build that shield, build this shield. And don't build the what is it called? I forget the name of it. But the trident. Don't build a trident, build this sword. So now you paint one to have player 2 colors. Yeah, Ultron. I mean, because here's the thing. As you all know, we build Gundam Wing model kits on this stream. So we're going to build it, of course. I'm eventually going to buy that Heavy Arms. That Heavy Arms is rumored to possibly be at Anime NYC, but might not appear until Emerald City Comic Con next year. If it does appear at Anime NYC next week, I'm going to buy that Heavy Arms with even more weapons on it. But it's just going to be the whatever 2012 re-release of the Heavy Arms, what with more extended pieces. And that's less exciting than I would like. That's all it is. Last night, I played some video games with y'all. Let's go to the overhead. Last night, I played more Jackbox with y'all, which was fun. Tonight, we're back to building. We're back to what brought me to the table, which is building model kits with you. Speaking of Anime NYC, that's next week. Now, I am working for the fine folks at Crunchyroll, the parent company Crunchyroll, Evolution. I am going to be working for them, which is cool, at their booth. Details, I don't have them. Can't tell you what I'm doing there. I'm going to find out. I'm hoping to build the booth and run the booth and all that, which is exciting, and I'm happy to do it. I've only built one master grade, says Ultron, but my second could be that tall geese with the feather wings. I mean, a tall geese is a beautiful kit. The Tall Geese 3 is a great kit. If I hadn't built the Tall Geese 2 already, I would... okay, I mean, that was in my notes. People don't listen to me. Sorry. No, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, yes, if I hadn't already built the Tall Geese 2, I would buy the new Tall Geese 2 that has the special paint, special coating of the plastic, because it looks really nice. But it's not enough to build it. Evening, Pat and friends, Infamous, welcome! Happy to have you here. Welcome to the chat and the stream. We are working on our Shenlong. Eventually, we'll work on the parts that are new. But right now, we just got to build the parts that exist already. So, I started to get my schedule for next week. And I'm going to update my calendar tomorrow, because I'm still working on figuring out what my schedule is. But I made an important discovery. a discovery that has ramifications for the stream, which is they don't need me to do anything on Wednesday. I had when I was hired, they were like Wednesday through Sunday. We need you Wednesday through Sunday the whole time available. It is for this, and these are the dates we need you for. Now, I have come to understand that that is because there are people who are working for them, who are not me, that are traveling. And they wanted them to travel in on Wednesday, get into their hotel room, be relaxed, and ready to start on Thursday. So they weren't trying to travel on Thursday and were available to work, which I understand. But also that means that, oh, wait, I'm sorry, I'm missing a piece, E14, which means that, okay, yeah. I'll just stream next Wednesday. That's all it is. If they need me to check into my hotel, I will just check in the hotel and then come back here and stream Wednesday night. So I'm not going to stream next Tuesday. I'll update the schedule on my website, on my Twitter, and the image that appears here, and I'll send out a Patreon thing tomorrow. But yeah, I don't have to. I'm going to stream next Wednesday night instead of next Thursday, and then I think I'm going to stream next Saturday. And so this is the anime gig you're talking about. Yes, Ultron. I am working next week at Crunchyroll's booth for Anime NYC. It is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday convention with setup on Thursday and then tear down on Sunday. So I had to be made plans to be available. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll stream on. I guess I'll just, stream Monday, Tuesday, and only do 4 hours next week. Oh, that's kind of a bummer, but that's the best way to be available and do what they need me to do. But if Wednesday is just because they didn't want people to travel Thursday morning and wanted to travel on a Wednesday, I live in New York. So instead, I'm still gonna stay. I'm gonna stream next Wednesday, and then go to the hotel and sleep there, so I can wake up and walk to the convention center, which is the whole point of me doing that. But I'm not gonna what am I doing wrong here? So this is gonna. One of the trickier things about these kits is always getting these pieces to slide on properly. It seems to be a thing that happens every build of these, is just getting some of the arm pieces to slide. Yeah, there we go. Got it. We got to do a lot of wiggling for that. It's always weird. My least favorite part is doing these parts of the arms. So next week I'll stream Monday and Wednesday, and then Saturday is kind of a game time decision. I think I'll be able to, but I don't want to promise that I'm definitely going to, because I'll kind of know on Friday if I can really if I have it in me to go. Now, one of the plus sides about them putting me up at a hotel near the convention center is I don't have to travel to the convention center, which is great. Also, the hotel I'm staying in apparently has a microwave and a fridge, which is rad, because it means not only can I just bring my can I buy groceries and have groceries, which is always helpful when you're trying to save money and not just eat out, especially not eat convention food or the food around a convention center. And the nearest neighborhood to the Javits Center is Times Square and Midtown, which is not inexpensive at all. I mean, there are a few places, you can find some places that are reasonably priced, but you have to really know where to look. It's not the easiest thing in the world. So being able to find a place to eat cheap, but instead of having food that you can just I can cook here a bunch of meals and put them in the fridge and then microwave them. That sounds fucking rad. And then also the benefit of I can buy groceries in Brooklyn, which will be far cheaper than the grocery store I know near the hotel I'm staying in. And then also, folks, you travel, y'all know this. Sometimes you do that thing where, well, I'm going to be gone for a few days, so I better not buy the normal amount of groceries I buy. I'll just buy a few things here and there, and you end up like, because you don't want to waste anything, well, I can just take whatever I buy with me to the hotel because I am still here in New York. It is very convenient. So worked out pretty good for me. Oops. I'm excited to do it. And also, like, I like working conventions. It'll be a good job. Like, it'll be good to. I'm only working 2 days next week for my day job. I'm taking the weekend off from teching, so I can give all my focus to that. But then also, like I said, I will have time to stream because if all of Wednesday is just like, yeah, just be around. I mean, I could have not taken off from my day job on Wednesday, apparently, because I still would have been able to do this. In hindsight, I guess I could have not. I could have worked a full day, but whatever. Uh, the alternative seems fine. And sorry, speaking of work things, this is a work thing that came in. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, work thing came in there, but it is an easy answer that I didn't even have to worry about. All right, I got to put hands on this thing. All right, we're almost done with one of the arms. We're putting our way through. We are going to just skip right to putting the hands on here that can hold things because, hey, guess what? We're going to have this thing hold things. So, of course, in the second hour of the stream, we're going to talk anime, right? That is what happens on the stream. Is the wrong hands here. Is that we talk about anime? That is obvious, and on Thursday streams, I have a lot to talk about. But also, like, you might not know this because you don't follow it, and I understand that, and I'm not saying you need to or have to. Wrestling's really good now. Like right now, wrestling is good. There's a couple products that aren't great. I mean, the choices that a particular company makes are downright evil, certainly. But the promos and wrestling ability and the actual matches you see on television and the internet are very good from a lot of different people. Hey, Mr. Bob, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here, my friend. So there's a lot of good wrestling right now, and I'm really happy about that. Everything from, I mean, NXT right now is incredible. It's so good and still remains so solid and what it should be. I'm so proud of that brand within WWE for keeping from really like what could have been the death knell of it, which was the move to television from just being a network product. Could have been disastrous, and so far, has not been, and that's great. And I'm very happy that has not, so far anyway, been terrible for them, because a lot of good people doing good work in that brand. Is NXT the one that Triple H has greater control over? Yes, Ultron. NXT is Triple H's like baby project. Now that it is on USA, there are more people looking at it than previously. But theoretically, he still is in control of it. It's a different storytelling. The matches feel different. The idea of it, like the training center and all that, is to learn the product to be able to move to any program. But there are people that do very well within that system that now don't necessarily have to go and move into a different wrestling part of the WWE and don't have to worry about that because it's still a very compelling place to be. Wrestling gonna make me get cable. I know, right? It's hard. I watch a bunch of stuff on Hulu after the fact, and you gotta wait. I do have a login that I'm currently using, a friend of mine's cable login, so that I can watch some stuff on USA. But yeah, there's a lot of good television. AEW is really interesting right now. They're putting together. In some ways, it is competition, but in other ways, it feels like a big indie, even though they have a lot of money because their camera stuff isn't necessarily top notch. A big thing is that they keep having to scramble to fit all their shit in because some of their people still don't know how long things take and aren't ready to start calling things on the fly. And they'll get there. They're just not there yet. And sometimes it feels a little embarrassing. NXT has always been exciting to watch. Yes. Yeah, Infamous. I totally agree with you. And it's been really fun to watch those people mix up with the main roster the past couple weeks. That's been really interesting to see them and to see who does well and who, didn't really stack up. It's been kind of an interesting angle. There's still just good storytelling there. Just really good storytelling. AEW, yeah. AEW is interesting. Now, the thing is that they have positioned themselves as more of a progressive company, which, cool. They need to start backing that up with more matches that feature women. That would be great. With pushing more of the homegrown talent and less of the established stars from other channels and other shows. I would like that. But yeah, more women's matches, please. Around the mat seems like the right thing to do around there. Yeah. But it's a weird product. AEW is still a weird product because it's the fans know that a lot of decisions are being made by 4 people, one of whom is going to challenge for the title, the other, and then because their whole one of their big selling things is win and loss records matter. We're keeping track. We're telling you can follow along. We want you to know who's winning and who's losing. That's a big thing for them. Well, it's weird because I know that Kenny Omega is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Kenny Omega's record in AEW does not reflect that. But also, it probably shouldn't reflect that because he is one of the owners of the company and one of the creative people of the company. So it's I don't know if you should, maybe they shouldn't be. Maybe, you know what, it's this weird thing where when you book the territory, it's an old school wrestling thing. This is very old school. I'm going to go very old school about wrestling with y'all. When you own a territory, when you own a wrestling organization in an area, the most important thing is your champion. Who's your champion? That champion's got to show up. The champion puts on, does radio and television and kissing babies and shaking hands and all that. Your talent is your champion is your face of the company. Puts butts in seats. Because you gotta put butts in seats. The easiest way to make sure that your champion doesn't take a job somewhere else and take your title away and make you look foolish is for you to be the champion. So when Jerry the King Lawler was running Memphis, he was champ because he could trust himself. If you were a wrestler, the Von Erichs, when the Von Erichs were running things in Texas, a Von Erich was champion because it's the easiest way to make sure. Because if it's not you, then it's your kid. If your kid's champion, then you don't have to worry about shit. Because your kid's not going to fuck you over, or less likely they will. If you're running a promotion in Canada, you're the Hearts. Well, a Heart's probably going to be champion, or friend of the family's going to be champion, or someone that you know isn't going to run out on you because they'll be held to pay if they do. That is how you hopefully keep your belt. For a while there, when I ran a promotion, which was obviously a comedy wrestling league, when I ran a comedy wrestling league here in New York, UCBW, I was champion for a while because our champion at the time was starting to not tell me when they were coming, like ghosting me, canceling last minute, being hard to deal with and hard to talk to. And eventually I was like, okay, I got to come up with a creative reason for me to be champion because this isn't working. And I know I'll show up because I have to be there anyway. So if I know I'll show up, I should be champion. And then I'm going to find a champion that will show up. And we'll just do it like that. So I understand that the folks that are running this, right? Cody and Kenny and the Bucks, they still have that mentality. They're putting people over. They're creating new stars. But they still leaned on an established, named person to be their first champion. Chris Jericho is their champion. Chris Jericho will always be their first champion. In many ways, that's perfect because Chris Jericho is an incredible performer, particularly for his age and his style of wrestling. He is an incredible talker. By having him be champion and surrounding himself with talent, which is some that are young and some that have potential outside of working with him, he is instantly giving them a rub and making them names. In many ways, it's great. But also, it can't be like he can't be champion forever. Eventually, you need AEW stars. In the same way that, to me anyway, TNA, Impact Wrestling, really became a thing when they made AJ Styles their champion. When AJ Styles became champion, it felt like they were passing the torch from stars of ECW and WWE and WCW to their own stars. It felt like a big deal. It felt important. It's got to feel important. So I don't know who that's going to be. I don't know if that's going to be Hangman Page in a couple of years. I don't know if that's going to be someone from New Japan that comes in. I don't know who's going to pull it off. Chuck Taylor could take a serious route at some point because that dude can fucking wrestle and he could talk. Ooh, Chuck Taylor, Southern gentleman. That man got a fucking promo and can work in the ring. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody. It shouldn't be Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes should not be the second AEW champion. AEW has the first contracted trained wrestler, trans wrestler. Yes, yes, infamous. They have made big moves, but also Nyla hasn't really done much on the roster yet. There's room for her to do more on there. A lot of their television ends up with only, if we're lucky, one match that features women. And the pay-per-view that they have coming up, the weekend event, their special, will have two matches, which is great. They have the ability to. Impact Wrestling shouldn't be the biggest wrestling promotion to feature intergender matches. AEW has a chance to do that right now if they wanted to. They totally could do it. I mean, to be fair, within the last couple of years, WWE did it. People don't talk about it, but they did have Becky Lynch fight James Ellsworth. And no, he's a joke of a wrestler, but it happened. And people already have forgotten about that. So it'd be interesting to see that. I don't know. Also, there's NWA Power, which is just on YouTube. And like, if you don't have cable and you're like, I don't know, I don't get it, I don't really want to. I just dropped a piece, so I gotta figure out where that went. I don't know. I don't really want to watch modern wrestling. The wrestling I like is weird, like old wrestling stuff. I watched that like joke fake wrestling thing that WWE put out. That's fun. NWA Power with 3 R's is pretty great. It is an on-purpose throwback wrestling promotion. It features Colt Cabana, who is an incredibly funny and also very tough wrestler. He has been NWA champion. He went legit in Ring of Honor and did very well for himself. He is a great wrestler who has so many upsides that I'm happy that he's found a home in this weird wrestling show. NWA Power is filmed in front of a studio audience, which was a thing that used to happen. They would set up a ring in a studio at like the Superstation, and like your region of the country's like local radio or local television station would just have wrestling, and the audience was just piped in and you could hear them. They pick up on the mics, and the ring announcers were right by the ring, and right over there is where all the interviews happen. The interviews would lead right into the ring. No music, just you go right in. Any like classic Ric Flair promo from the time, like any of those promos where you see Ric Flair like being interviewed, that's all studio wrestling. And it's weird to have a TV show like Billy Corgan owns the he's a majority stakeholder in the NWA, and he's partially responsible for, or a lot of responsible for its revival, and it still doesn't make any sense. The Smashing Pumpkins own Billy Corgan is one of the reasons why there's good wrestling on the internet. And it's very strange. It's a very strange thing to say. That's totally very true. It's like, thanks, Billy. The way I'm hoping they're putting their big names up front first. Yeah. Yes, Infamous. I mean, they have to. I mean, they are doing it, right? Like, here's my thing. Puck, great wrestler. But I don't need to see Neville beat people and win. Like, to me, like, yeah, Neville should totally kick the crap out of Orange Cassidy. Because that's, Orange Cassidy can survive that. But, like, I don't need to see him, like, running roughshod over the whole division and take and clean house of everybody. Like, I don't care. I'd much rather have like Jungle Boy win a bunch. Like, I'd rather see some indie people like Private Party. Private Party should be running Roughshod. Really, they should be building up Private Party as like the next big awesome tag team because they're fucking great. I'm having some trouble here. As I said, the arms on these kits, even from like 2011, like obviously not a lot has changed with these kits, have always been kind of frustrating. All right, so now we'll build the other part of the arm. But yeah, NWA Power, as I was saying, is surprisingly really fun and good, and I'm happy for it. But so some people are doing the shtick, like some people are living the shtick. Now, also, Jim Cornette, I don't like hearing that man's voice. Jim Cornette has been in the industry for a very long time. He's a veteran in the industry. He's seen it all. He's done it all. There is a very hilarious theory that Jim Cornette, his costuming, his color scheme for his suits is inspired by or copied from Lupin the Third, which is hilarious and definitely not true. It's definitely a coincidence that several of Jim Cornette's suits look an awful lot like various versions of Lupin. It's definitely not true, but it is fucking hilarious to say that because I know he would hate it. I know that Jim Cornette has heard from someone, hey, they think you started dressing like this because of a Japanese cartoon. I know that bothers him a lot. It's got to, and that makes me laugh. Harold, good night, everyone, and I will not be here Saturday. I'll be doing my Extra Life. I'll post a link in Discord. Harold, good luck with your Extra Life. I'll try to pop in during the day. I got some stuff going on that day, but I will try to pop in. Good luck with that. I will see you soon, my friend. And yeah, people check that. Cornette keeps me away. Jam, I understand what you're saying. I don't love Jim Cornette. I wish. Look, does he add some legitimacy to it? Yeah, but like, well, he's under contract with something. Mike Tenay would do the same. If you told me Mike Tenay, the professor, was doing commentary for NWA, I would be all ears. I'd much rather that. Tell me Matt Stryker's doing it. Sure. A lot of Stryker, like, some personal stuff, whatever, but like, of course, and not whatever. But yeah, Cornette is the thing I'm interested the least in with the new NWA television show. I like that some people are doing the throwback stuff. I mean, I love that Colt Cabana's thing is Colt Boom Boom Cabana. It's just nonsense. It doesn't mean anything, and I love it. But no, I want to see more risk taking on all the brands as far as talent goes. I want to see more wrestlers get to shine. There's still there's still hundreds of incredible indie wrestlers out there still trying to make it work. Yeah, the show, Jim, the show is just feel like the idea of like just people walking out with no music, being interviewed, and then just getting in the ring. Like, it feels so old school, and I'm so appreciative of the style that they're going for, and just trying to be like, hey, there's room for this kind of product, you know. Makes me happy. I mean, independent wrestling is still out there. People are still doing shows. Ring of Honor and PWA or PWG and Chikara. There's still tons of great independent wrestling out there. I'll say this. If a big promotion is coming to your city for a big pay-per-view, I'm not saying spend hundreds of dollars to go see WWE if you don't want to. But if there's a big show, if there's a big pay-per-view coming to your city, Chitin Clone is now following. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. But yeah, if a Royal Rumble is happening in your town, check your local listings. Check your Twitter, events that are happening. Check your Facebook for stuff. There's probably independent wrestling. Your local scenes, people might travel for it. We'll put stuff up because there are wrestling fans coming to the city, and now it's Wrestle Weekend, right? And there's always going to be stuff happening around those, which is cool. I think it's rad. I love that. I love that you can go and see a lot of independent stuff around the weekend of any major promotion coming to a city. It's one of the coolest parts of that. But yeah, it's a good time for wrestling. And yeah, and I'm it's a lot. I mean, there's just so much going on out there that it is hard to keep track of all that stuff. But I do think that there's some very cool wrestling out there, and you should check it out. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up on anything like TV or movies lately. I've been very busy. I have basically 3 jobs right now, and I've been very happy about that, working and doing all that. But I haven't really made time for fun, cool things. Of course, the second hour we'll talk about anime because I have been watching some anime stuff, so we'll talk about that. And the various shows that I like. Because the difference between Monday and Wednesday, or Monday and Thursday, from Monday to Thursday, like, there are a bunch of shows that I like to watch that all come out around that time. So on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I got a bunch of stuff to talk about, which is good because content is fun. Let's see. Trying to think about it. I basically, my only plan tonight was to talk about wrestling, which we're doing. The one thing about wrestling that I didn't say. Currently a week behind on my animes. Well, Dirty, I understand. I have gotten I have gotten behind before, so I feel you. I understand where you're coming from. It happens to the best of us. What I end up doing is sometimes I just pick a show that I'm like, well, I'm going to be behind on this show until I have the time to get caught up on it. And instead, you pick and choose the ones that you want to get caught up on. And that's the best thing you can do. The last thing about wrestling I want to say, real quick, is just that wrestling is so good right now that people need to do better with their extras bullshit. Like, I don't watch AEW After Dark because there's too much wrestling. Like, I can't watch this other thing. There's just too much wrestling. Like, Matt Hardy started making videos again because I think I don't know if his contract expired with WWE or he's on the shelf with them, but he's making fucking weird YouTube videos that are trying to tease him either having a new alter ego or broken Matt Hardy coming back. And I don't know what the fuck's going on with there, but also, like, I kind of don't give a shit because it's just like, yeah, no, dude, there's a lot going on. I don't need this, Matt. Sorry, Matt Hardy. I love you, but no. Like, no, I'm all right now. All those extra live streams put me off my schedule. Yeah, Dirty, that definitely happened with me. I've been able to catch up on a lot of my YouTube stuff because I just watch it while I'm working because I am right now doing customer service. So I'm working from home. So since I'm working in my apartment and, like, answering stuff, I just have one of my other windows, or my monitor just has a bunch of videos. So I've been able to catch up on that, which has been cool. So that's been nice for that. But I can't do that with anime because I need to focus on anime because I got to read what's going on. So it's mostly for, like, Bon Appetit videos, all their Thanksgiving stuff. I've been able to catch up on all that, and, like, tech videos and stuff like that. Or all my Hearthstone streamers who have YouTube content are putting up longer videos because they're doing Battlegrounds videos. So instead of doing, like, here's a 10-minute best of this deck. It's here's me winning a bunch or losing a bunch in this thing and trying to figure it out. I'm like, okay. I've heard good things about dark matches though. Lashbrook, I have too. I've heard they're solid. Apparently, it's good. I just like it's a lot, and I'm not caught up on it. It's on my radar of things to watch more of, but like I said, because I do now have 8 hours in front of a computer where I just need stuff going on. I hit a point today. Here's the thing. I ran out of podcasts today for like 2 hours because one of my Thursday podcasts usually puts something up in the morning, and I listen to that, and they finished it. They didn't put it up, and then my Thursday night podcast. So I had like a weird window there, and now I have like 3 things to listen to. And the real thing is that on Friday, like 6 to 8 hours of video game wrestling podcasts come out on Friday that I listen to. So I'll have podcasts tomorrow. But for today, I had a weird window when I went on errands and I was like, I don't have anything to listen to. Huh. Weird. I listen to music? I mean, okay. If you haven't seen the bit, Dark Matches with a Kid Who... Oh, no. Lashbrook brings up an excellent thing that you should look at. First of all and foremost, get on our level and know that Orange Cassidy is the future of comedy. That dude is handsome as shit, nice as fuck, and talented as all hell. And his gimmick shouldn't work and totally does. His gimmick is that he's freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, and he is happy to be here, but very lazy. His thumbs up is this. He doesn't move his thumb all the way up. He wrestles as much as he can with sunglasses on and his hands in his pockets. He does a very good job at it. He will roll underneath the third rope just to roll in, so he doesn't have to like climb up. He'll just roll into the ring. Very funny. He does incredible things with his hands in his pockets, and it's unbelievable. But there was somebody, a little kid was dressed as Orange Cassidy and ended up in a quote-unquote match. And it was very fucking cute and funny and great. No, I'm so thrilled that the AEW fans who, some of those fans are just like, they're not indie fans. They're just been hurt by WWE, and they're looking for a new home, and they don't know the indie scene that well. And they are incredibly excited about Orange Cassidy. People seem to have gotten really on board with him, which is great. Yeah, no, Lashbrook, that kick looked like it hurt. Some people hate a comedy gimmick, and it always bums me out. There was a Battle Royale moment early on in AEW kind of defining itself with Tommy Dreamer and Orange Cassidy. And that bit needed Tommy Dreamer to be on board and to be excited about this bit, and he was, and I was so happy that he was, because that bit would have tanked Cassidy if not. And it's I was so glad that Tommy Dreamer, like, who gets it? He fucking gets it. Was just like, okay, I know what this bit is. I know what you're doing here. The real thing is, the thing I'll say about Orange Cassidy, who is an incredible professional wrestler, independent, on the indie scene, independent wrestling champion, is that he is a Chikara trainee who wrestled for Chikara under a mask in a gimmick that was very beloved. And he is so talented and so good at looking like he is so bored and so tired. Just effortless at it. And it's a hard thing. Being bad or being like tired or unhappy to be there, these are hard things, as particularly in comedy. Um, they're hard things to like be able to do well, and I think that people don't give him enough credit. But he is a very talented wrestler. To do a kip up, which is with your hands in your pockets. So literally, because most kip up are you put your hands out and you kick up with your legs and your feet, and you end up in a standing position from the ground, right? That's a kip up. Shawn Michaels could do it out of nowhere and then kick you in the head, take your head clean off, with his sweet chin music. He can do that with his hands in his pockets, which means his abdomen, his abdominal muscles, and his legs are just having him come up. And that is unbelievable and just impressive. Also, I'm gushing about AEW, but AEW has made Tony Schiavone love wrestling again, and that makes me happy. Because, I want good things for Tony Schiavone. He seems like a nice guy. The guy loves wrestling. He had a bad way with it for a long time. Came out of it at the other end. He's back announcing wrestling. And it seems like Tony Schiavone gets to see great wrestling at AEW, and he's psyched about it. There is a clip where another announcer calls a move a Vader bomb. And Tony Schiavone, the man, the person, not the announcer, the person goes, "Oh, that's what they call that move now? Oh, that's cool." It's a moment, and I should not get choked up about this, right? It is a real moment where a real person makes a discovery that a guy he knew and respected and loved that people pay tribute to him by calling a move that he did so well after him. And Tony Schiavone, live on television, is finding that out and is happy about it. And that makes me really happy. A man I've never met just has a really unique, honest, earnest, lovely moment in front of a bunch of people, and it just made me happy? I don't know. I don't know if I can convey that properly, but it filled me with a lot of joy. The idea that I'm happy that Tony Schiavone is happy announcing wrestling. I like wrestling a lot, and I like when people who are good at the thing they do get to be good at that thing and get to do it, and it makes me happy. So Tony Schiavone having a good time announcing wrestling makes me happy. Finding out, look, I was bummed. I am bummed that Renee Young is not a WWE commentator right now. But come to find out, Renee Young was not having a good time doing it. She wasn't having a good time on it. Apparently, this Fox thing, this after show that she's hosting, is what she wants to do. She broke ground. She did it. But that's not what she wanted to do. And as much as it was a bummer to have her being removed, and it's a fucking consistent bummer to have Jerry the King Lawler on my goddamn television, I totally do not want any more of that. Would love to not have that happen. Apparently Renee was very unhappy in that position. So I'm glad that she is. I hope this show thing, appeals to her, and she gets to do the kind of thing she wants to do. She's a great broadcaster. Yeah, I don't know. I just want people to be happy and fulfilled. Psyched when that happens. It's nice. I'll say this. we're going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. Look, do I have reboot fatigue? Of course I have reboot fatigue. We all do. We all have a few shows that we're like, oh, geez, can they just make new things? Yes. But also, we live in a world where sometimes they say they're going to remake a thing, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. So, I'm going to look up the information on this because there's going to be a League of Their Own TV show for Amazon that stars Darcy Carden from The Good Place and Abby Jacobson from Broad City. And like that was, people were talking about that, but it's basically a half-an-hour comedy based on a League of Their Own, which is crazy and great. And apparently, like, Gina Davis is psyched about it, so that's nice. Yeah, all right, yeah, we can look when they're bad and or weird or nonsense. Like, yeah, then I don't need reboots that are of weird things that don't make any sense. But you tell me that Darcy, who is a lovely, talented, incredibly nice person, and Abby Jacobson, who I love, are gonna be in a League of Their Own comedy for Amazon. I'm going to watch that. Infamous. You have a great night, too. Thank you. I'll be back here on Saturday night. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good rest of your evening. But yeah, that news came out. It's been talked about since last year that Abby was working on it. It sounded good and cool and weird. And now that Darcy's on there, I'm even more excited. Because Darcy is great. It's Janet from The Good Place, if you don't know. Very talented, hardworking, incredibly sweet person. And I'll be excited to see what happens with that. I'm going to cough. But yeah, it's some good stuff. Again, we're going to finish these legs here, and then we will take, or feet, I should say, feet of our legs, and then we will take our pause for the cause, and then I will talk about anime, the anime of the day. But first, let me finish this up. But yeah, I've got some, talk about the shows I've been watching, and I have some good things to say about them, and some not so nice things to say about them. And gotta try living a little bit more, doing a few more things. I'll try to do something on Saturday and have something to talk about. I mean, part of Saturday is, I gotta film my next Pat Bear's Anime Club because the next episode is gonna have to go out the day after Anime NYC is over. So I'm going to shoot that this weekend. So I got to do that. I don't know what I'm going to... I still don't know. I have a couple ideas of what that could be, but I don't know for sure of what that episode's going to be about. I'm probably going to do my what is an anime club? Why is this called Pat Bear's Anime Club? The thing is that's an episode I could do at any time, so I was like, well, maybe I don't want to do that one right away because I can do that whenever. But I want to do more research before I do the episode about isekais and the history of isekai. I have to do more research on that. That one requires. That's not just like a stream of conscious. Like, here are the points I want to make. That's like I gotta get dates and facts and have photos and go through this whole thing. So I don't have that. I don't have the time to research that. It's coming. The history of and explainer on isekais is coming. It's just not yet. Anyway, on the subject of wrestling and anime, I've been playing River City Girls, and I'm enjoying doing the stun gun on people. Hell yeah, Lashbrook. I haven't played River City Girls. I gotta check that out. Also, speaking of anime, Ms. Sailor B herself, Veronica, social media darling of Crunchyroll, is a shop owner. And I'm going to see her next week. That's good. I used to be the treasurer of an anime club, and we ended up spending all our funding on CDRSs and bootleg anime download sites. Hell yeah, you did, Dirty. You got to. That's how you got the anime. I belong to an anime club with some very sketchy dudes who I did not like the company of. But one of those dudes, he was paying a fan sub group for them to be able to import laser discs so that the OVAs we got looked better because for a series I can't remember the name of, but they were taking the laser disc and putting the subtitles over it, and we were getting VHS tapes that were first generation fan subs because he was sponsoring that sub. Yeah, that's the early 2000s, indeed. For me, that period was the mid to late 90s when the best quality OVA you could get, or OAV, were on Laserdisc. Oh yeah, Dirty. I paid a guy in San Francisco to send me CDRs with DivX files on them because he had a T3 at his college that he worked at, because he worked in the library at a college, and he ran a business because media mail was really cheap, so it was very inexpensive to mail CDRs. So I paid a monthly fee for him to download torrents of fan subs of whatever, and you could do a thing where you could buy it by series, and so like when there were enough to fill a disc of Naruto or One Piece, then he would mail you, here's One Piece 50 through 54, and you got 4 videos and they're DivX files, and you got to get the right DivX codec on your DivX player, and you can play that. And then eventually, or you could just he would just be downloading a ton of things, and you would just get what's new this week, and here is this week's worth of CDR, and it's got Karen 3 and Naruto 47. And Dragon Ball Movie 7. And that was a lot. That was how I got anime. That was particularly how I got anime when I first moved to New York in 2001. That is how I got my anime, because I did not have internet access when I moved to New York. I would go to an internet cafe to check my email every day after school, because I went to class at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And I would check my email at the, I check my email at the one computer they had in their tiny library before school, and then I would classes, and then I would go to an internet cafe for a couple hours and check my email and browse the internet and play, I don't know, a game or something, and then I would go home to the apartment that I was renting, which was a room in someone's house with no internet, and then eventually I moved to a place that had dial-up. And so I would still get CDRs because I couldn't torrent anything because I didn't have DSL or cable internet for a long time, for a couple of years. And eventually I moved to a place where we had cable internet, and then I could just torrent what I wanted, and I didn't have to buy discs anymore. Copy to a hard drives or whatever. But yeah, that is how I saw anime. But yeah, I want to talk about Anime Club stuff because it is complete and utter weird nonsense. Follow. Uh, former Polygon social person. I think I forget entertainment, social entertainment. I forget what. Yeah, social producer. Ashley O is now working for GameSpot. I wonder if Ashley's going to stay in New York or if she's working out of the New York office. That's great. If she's working out of the New York office, then she's technically coworkers with Giant Bomb, and Ashley and Abby would be a very excitable, loud duo. Ashley O is great. Um, uh, but yeah, Ashley's awesome, and it's working for GameSpot, which is smart. They did a good job, good hire. But Ashley and Abby would be an interesting combo wombo. Even yeah, Mahardy should have Ashley do some stuff. She's great. Anyway, pause for the cause time. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave emote, throw the Lego emote. Let the people know what's up. You're here and you're doing things and you're a subscriber to the channel. We got 38 wonderful folks out there subscribing. Bits and coins, always appreciated. There is the bits and coins thing. Right now, Harold is in the lead with just 21 bits. 22 bits and you're at the top of the leaderboard. There's also the gift sub leaderboard. No one's at the top of that. You could gift someone a sub if they're not a subscriber. Most of the folks watching right now are subscribers. Thank you so much for that. If you use your Twitch Prime coin, you got to manually renew that. If you use just cash money, it auto renews. Just your credit card or debit card or PayPal account gets charged, and you did that, which is cool. I'm going to open up Nightbot, my Nightbot commands. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, all of what I'm about to say, all the links I'm about to put in are available in the show description on the YouTube, because I also have a Patreon. If you're like, I don't want to do that, I got a Patreon. You can join my Patreon. If you don't want to be a subscriber here, there's some rewards. There's an exclusive video that I'll put out later this month that is just a Q&A. I put the call out every month for questions. I get a couple every month. It is a way to support the stream if that's something you'd like to do. Another way to support the stream is to buy something off my wish list. I just updated my wish list pretty recently. And again, I'll go through this very fast and we'll get back to building in a moment or two. But I want to talk about a couple of things I put on my wish list that I'm excited about. I put a high grade in there, part of the UC, the HGUC. They put a bunch of new weird kits. The Zogok. The Zogok is one, a weird looking mobile suit, and two, has an extendable arm, and I love that. I put that in there because I don't know, that would be fun to build. What else did I put up there? Oh, the weird Zaku 2 that is that beautiful odd white color. It's a whitish gray that I think looks rad. The Tyrion ground type, which is a cool looking weird kit. I put a few new things in the wish list and a lot of oldie but goodies. Things that I would love to build on stream. The Real Grade Tall Geese 3 that I might end up picking up at Anime NYC next week if it is cheaper than $65, which is about the price on Amazon, it seems like. I might pick that up. I might also pick up next week the Gogeta, because I wouldn't mind buying that. But yeah, you buy something on your wish list, it comes to me, I build it on the stream. That's how it works, folks. That's how it works. That is a way to support the stream. If you were like, I don't want to buy anything on Amazon, Pat, well, you could buy a gift card on USA Gundam Store, and then you could send me the code. You could whisper at me here on Twitch or send me a DM on Twitter. My DMs are open, and you could send me a gift card, and then I'll buy something with the gift card. I also, donations are always appreciated. Bits and coins, as I said, are always great, but also Coffee and Streamlabs and PayPal directly. Those are all just ways to support the stream, and any money I make on that goes to buying kits because it's an expensive thing. That's the thing. I have a Discord. Join my Discord. My Discord is rad. People post photos. I post photos of stuff I'm working on. People post photos of things they're working on. We just got some new posts today that looked really cool, and I was really happy to see those. I do a thing called background and characters. I put a new one up yesterday. This one's pretty short. Um, I did a thing where on Saturday I recorded 4 of them, which meant that tonight I didn't have to record a new one because I used to have Thursdays off and I could just do that on Thursdays. And now I don't want to do that after working all day. So I think the first Saturday of the month or whatever, I'm just going to record like a couple of them and bang them out. So that happened. And then I have a couple fun Nightbot commands. I'll put this one in because I'm about to do it, which is water. Gotta drink some water. And also, I should say this to you. Maybe you want to drink some water. Have you stood up for a while? I'm not going to stand up. But have you stretched your arms? I'll do that after I drink a little water. It's important. I've been doing that. I have a Slack command in my work Slack. It tells me to get up, and I've been doing that. Of course, we lost focus. That'll come back. There we go. I've been stretching. I've been cracking my knuckles. I've been doing the old wrist rotations, pulling back, forward, and back. I'm doing that with my feet as well because I find myself sometimes in weird, contorted, trying to be comfortable things because my chair is not the most comfortable thing in the world, and I'm in front of a computer all day now, so I'm like trying to keep it going. You know what I mean? All right, we are in the second hour. I mean, we're well into the second hour. It's time to talk about anime. We got a bunch of shows to talk about. And it's so nice to start with the Tuesday anime show, the only show I watch that comes out on Tuesdays. But that is also one of the best shows that's on right now, and that is Black Clover. And Noelle got a fucking episode, y'all. Noelle got a great, kick-ass episode. Last week's episode, she already had a little tease that she was going to be cool and some stuff was going to go down. But this week's episode was like her older brother explaining why he treated her the way she did, which does not make up for the treatment that she received from him, but does explain it some. She showed off her ability. She discovered a new ability deep within herself, because one of the major themes of Black Clover, a literal thing is, so Black Clover, magic. You can do spells that are in your grimoire, which is a magic book of spells, right? You don't have to read from it, but if the spell is in your book, you can do that spell. And most of the time, you're given a book, and those are the spells you can do, and you might learn new ones after a certain amount of time. But sometimes, because of just like shit happening to you, you develop the ability to get a new spell because it's like, shit, this is do or die, and it's time for a new spell, which is convenient for an anime to have that be part of the story. It's very convenient. But yeah, Noelle had her fucking moment, man. Looking a lot like her mom, who died in childbirth, just being awesome and rad as fuck. It was cool as hell. The fight scenes looked great. They've been spending some money. I'm expecting we are episodes away from some sort of either a week off or them doing a pocket episode or another one where it's just a bunch of the Petite Clover, which is their little gags at the end. They do it some episodes. I'm expecting them to do some sort of like cheap episode, inexpensive, I should say, because it's very clear that this weekly show has been spending some goddamn money on this show, on their episodes. But it's been so good lately. Black Clover. I know it's too much. There's so much has happened in the show. It's just so much to like get caught up on, but fucking, it's so good, so good. Let's see. Radiant. Radiant was surprisingly good. I've kind of been little less enthused about this show, the second season. There's just so much good shonen, including Black Clover. There's so much good shonen that this was like kind of like felt a little second rate. Last week I was talking about how I appreciated that they had their main character fuck up and he didn't fix it. And that's an important element in storytelling that often gets overlooked in shonen, because usually it's like, well, you just got to work hard enough and it'll work out, and maybe it will by the end. But right now, he is not made up for his selfish behavior, and I was happy about it. I was happy about to see where it was going. It's yeah, and I don't know. Look, they also did the thing where we all know a guy's evil, and they're really teasing it like it's going to be a big reveal when we find out that a dude is evil. So there's a dude. A bunch of these, like, there's a scam going on. There's a bunch of characters. I don't know if they're evil, but they're liars. They're liars, and they might be cheats. But they're definitely liars. Because the only two guys that can help fight this particular bad villainous character that for some reason no one else is able to do any damage to are very clearly creating the monster that they're then beating, which is very evil. But maybe they're doing it for a good reason. I don't know. After School Dice Club continues to be the best show of the season. The very best show of the season, available on Hulu. Watch it. Just watch After School Dice Club. Find out we got our class president made a game and got feedback and learned about how, like, literally the episode, the gist of the episode is, yes, it takes an author to make a game. A game author is important. But a game doesn't exist until people... It's not a game until people play it. Because basically, beta testing is important because all these people had all these ideas and whatever, and it's a whole thing. It was nice having another character kind of take the spotlight off our main character, Michi, who I guess is going to be the spotlight next week. But the idea of, like, authorial intent only goes so far, and then you need to, like, get feedback of your game. And it's also like talking about the reality that Japan is behind the rest of the world when it comes to board games and tabletop games. How the scene is growing, but it's not a market. It's a scene. Which is true. Video games just have a hold on it, and it's changing, but it is a developing market, which is like an actual factual thing. And I think one of the reasons why this show exists is because the mangaka really loves playing board games and wanted to, like, write about how they're awesome, which is just a fun reason to make an anime or make a manga. Just be like, hey, this shit is rad. Like, I want to let you know I'm into a thing that I think is pretty cool, and maybe you'll like it. Let me tell you about it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe After School Dice Club will do for Japan what Slam Dunk did, which is literally make basketball a thing. I've talked about this before, right? How basketball is a thing in Japan largely because of a cool manga and anime about basketball, and then young people were like, this basketball seems pretty cool. And then, like, at the same time, for years, the NBA had been trying to make inroads in Japan for, like, broadcasting stuff, and it was the Olympics and the Dream Team, like, that people were like, well, basketball seems pretty cool. And also, all the kids are starting to play basketball. Should schools have basketball teams? And Should that be a thing? Because this manga makes it seem pretty cool. I guess. I don't know. That makes me that shit. You know, if you've watched the streams long enough, you know. I love it when a thing about how something is cool that is a manga or an anime can literally change change a country. Like the fact that camping around Mount Fuji is up because laid back camp is so good that people were like, "Oh yeah, camping, huh? Let's do that." Or that was it one of the Idol show, that Zombie Idol show, increased tourism in their area because people were like, "That place seems cool. Let's go there. I like that anime. Let's go there." Like that. That shit always works for me. I always love it. I will never not love that shit. That shit is the best. Love it so much. Saga. The prefecture Saga has increased tourism by like 300% because they used animated versions of real world locations in that show, and people were like, "I want to go check that out. This place seems cool." That stuff rules. Let's see. Cautious hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. So this show is not good, but it's okay. It's all right. There are moments in this show that I do not hate, but I would never say that I love it. It is a very odd show in that it is a comedy version of an isekai, but also the main character you're not supposed to like, I don't think. Because he's just like, the cautious nature of him is funny, but also he's an asshole. One of the gags in this episode that worked for me was there is this kind of like creepy, mysterious goddess that like seems kind of weird and like dark and like whatever. And she's so into the hero guy that she like starts dressing up and like she goes from like being she ends up becoming he lost me when he abused the sword god guy. Yeah, dirty. In my mind, like that's just it was just a weird choice to make. Like have him be overpowered, but like he's abusive and garbage. Like he's a shitty dude. And I think we're supposed to understand why the goddess character is like so bummed by what's happening and put out by what's happening. But like, yeah, he's just like really unlikable. End of episode, we find out that the people that are supposed to be helping him, the Dragonborn, and the two Dragonborn, one is got the ability to become a dragon, and like that just means he can carry stuff more. That's what the hero cares about. And then we find out the girl whose magic abilities are not particularly great. Well, that's because her destiny is to die so that a big overpowered weapon can exist. And on paper, he's gonna want that weapon. And will he care that she dies for it? I don't know. But also, I don't think he cares about anything. And it's weird. Like, it's just a weird way to be interested in a show. Is to have your main character be like Garbage Town. I don't know. It's a weird one. It is a weird show. Speaking of shows that I'm kind of down on, Kemono Michi, Rise Up. Man, if you told me this was a premise for an anime, I would be like on board. I was so on board with this premise. Here's the weird thing. This week's episode is my favorite episode of the show, and it's because 95% of it is nothing to do with our main character. It is about the demon lord character, the demoness character who hangs out with him, and the rival who's going to end up being the rival of the show, who is brought in his own rival. She's going to try to defeat the hero. It's a whole thing. But yeah, it had so little to do with the main character. He's barely in it at all. And that shouldn't be my favorite episode. This should not be my favorite episode. Like, I should be like, oh, it's so weird they had an episode without this dude. But it's like, no, man. This one, that was great. Whatever. It was fine. Let's see. Are we on that one? Yeah. Okay. We're in High School Prodigies. Have it easy, either in another world. High School Prodigies. Episode came out today. It was mostly a setup. This is your typical isekai. Nothing's really happening. A bunch of things are happening, and a bunch of information is being presented. There were some funny moments. There's a hot spring, so there was another round of naked characters, most of whom don't seem to give a shit about being naked. I guess it's okay because they don't give a shit, but it's also weird because they don't give a shit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this one. I will say this. Okay, so generally, an isekai is a dude from a world like our world goes to a fantasy world, and in the course of being in that fantasy world and doing his thing, a bunch of people fall in love with him. Generally, that is the case. There are exceptions to the rule, but generally, that is what's up. This is a group isekai, which means that a lot of people from another world came. And the elf girl from the fantasy world they're in definitely has feelings for the politician who is like ostensibly the main character of this group. And the scientist, who clearly has a crush on him, it's very obvious that she does, is not taken that well. And so there's a little bit of drama within the hero team, our squad, which could be interesting, probably won't be. I assume that she'll just gonna like go to the moon, because in Earth she was on the moon. So I assume that like she's just gonna like abandon them for a while because she's just like bummed out and sad because she's got feelings. I don't know. It's fine. I mean, look, compared to Kemono Michi, compared to Cautious Hero, it is good. It is my second favorite isekai of the season because I am watching 4 isekai. Obviously, I won't shut up about it. The best isekai of the season, top tier isekai, is didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Because that show is fucking great and is my second favorite show of the season. If you are not watching that, you are missing out on a great anime. Because that show fucking rules. It's funny and fun, and this Monday's episode was heartfelt, and was all about backstory, and was great. And just like really cool. And I'm excited for more of the show. Seeing where they go with it. Alright. But yeah, I thought that the idea was interesting and like a funny premise, but more and more is just such a good show. Um, I haven't tried Assassin's Pride. Um, I've been hearing okay things about that. Uh, I haven't tried, or I haven't gone back to um, that. Or I haven't tried Do You Love Me Ozuriki or whatever. I've heard that got real weird. So maybe I'm glad that I didn't start that show. Uh, and let's see. I haven't gone back to Ascendance of a Bookworm. I heard that's gotten better, but no, asks, do you watch any older anime? I don't currently. I have gone back. I'm not. Um, what ends up happening is every now and again I will get the mood to watch something that I haven't watched in a long time, or perhaps when I watched it the first time didn't have the best subtitles. So I've gone back to some stuff. Um, so on occasion I will go back. Right now I'm mostly watching new stuff. So I mean I have my comfort anime. Like I will just watch a couple episodes of Flying Witch every now and again, just because Flying Witch rules, and it's one of my favorite things to just watch when I need to watch something cool. But yeah, a lot of it is just like, so right before Funimation had it split with with Crunchyroll, because Sony decided, well, we shouldn't do this anymore since we bought Funimation. And I knew that I was going to lose Yu Yu Hakusho, or a lot of Yu Yu Hakusho. I went back and watched the last arc, the Demon Realm tournament. That tournament. I went and watched that again because when I first watched it, all of that, basically, like the last major sections of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the last stuff of Yu Yu Hakusho was coming out around the same time. And the way to watch that for me at the time was to watch very poorly subtitled versions of it. So it was. So I went back towards the end of, or like I said, when the deal was ending, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to watch it anymore. I went back and watched a lot of that Funimation subtitles of Yu Yu Hakusho because I wanted to see it. Every once in a while, I also like, it's not that old. I mean, it's the time, but every once in a while, I get in the mood that I want to watch some Initial D, and so I'll watch Initial D on Hulu because that's fun. Because it's Initial D. Sometimes I just want to hear some of that Euro beat, I want to see this kind of awkward digital animation mixed with CG, where the cars are CG, but the rear view mirror is digital, and they're trying something new and trying to make it work. And a lot of characters look very similar because that's that guy's art style. And you're like, I don't remember who that was. I feel like we don't see much racing anime. Yeah, Mudan. Madoon, I should say. A friend of mine's maiden name is Mudan. And Catherine went by Mudan much, so it's stuck in my head when I see your name. Madoon. Yeah, we don't see racing stuff that much. It kind of came and went. And it's weird because F1 is, I mean, racing is very popular throughout the world, including Japan. It might just be that, like, street racing had its time in the sun. But I could see another one coming back. I could see like a pit crew shonen kind of like show making the rounds and that working out pretty good. If not a street racing show, then just some kind of like, yeah, this is, this is like a competitive F1 racing. Like, I could see that doing all right. I don't know. Um, could really use more slice of life. Like, I'm hoping. I mean, obviously, look, we're getting laid back camp next year. Getting more laid back camp. That's good. But right now, I've got like, it's not slice of life because it's a romantic comedy. Recyclable just cheer 200 with the Terminator bonus. Thank you so much, Recyclable. Also, apparently, the Terminator bonus is still a thing. That's cool. Thank you so much. Now, top of the leaderboard. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, friend. Bits and coins, always appreciated. You can watch ads to get bits or use your money. But yeah. Yeah, because there's some romantic comedy shows out there, but yes, I did watch that. I'm gonna refresh my old memory banks. Um, yeah, uh, that show took me a while to watch. It's like 12 episodes or whatever. That show took a while because there were a few. I mean, some of those episodes were just cute, right? Sweetness and lightning, but some of them were just like fucking gut punches. There's some real gut punches in that show. Uh, that I so sometimes I would like take. That's not a binge to me. That's not a binge show. That's not a show that you're like, I'm checking out this one. But yeah, some of those episodes were just like heavy, and it makes sense because it's like about like dealing it with feelings and emotions and like some real goddamn sadness was happening in that show. So like, it totally makes sense that sometimes it was just like, "Ooh, okay, all right, goddamn, okay, well, fucking, let's all take a moment." It was good. No, it's a good show. But yeah, I'm open. I'm open for a few more slice of life shows, kind of fun things. Uh, we'll see. I mean, this season's just so strong as far as shonen and like between uh, Boruto being kind of good right now. If you're like a nostalgia nerd like me, for if you're nostalgia for like fucking Naruto, then Boruto's great because they're time traveling. One Piece has been awesome. Uh, uh, Fire Force is great. Black Clover is great. Doctor Stone is great. Like Radiant is all right. Like there's a lot of there's a new Fate series that people are really into. Like there's a bunch of shows that are really strong right now. They're action shows. It's a really strong crop of that, and that's great. But like also, what if there were other shows that existed that I could watch? That would be cool too. Like I'd like a few more fun, cute things. Um, I'd like yeah, just and not necessarily kiddie things, just like light, fun shows. Still sitting at 271 or 2 One Piece. Uh Look, this arc is awesome. There were a couple episodes that were real fillery and real like making you wait. But overall, it's been a very strong uh, season of this era of One Piece has been really strong. Some real good action, real good fights. They took a week off. My Hero and One Piece both took a week off, which was tough, but I'm looking forward to getting caught up, or it coming back. I mean, it gave me time to watch Boruto over the weekend, which was a weird experience. Because it's, like I said, Boruto is just, hey, Naruto's a pretty good dude. Yeah, he has trouble controlling his powers, and people are scared of him a lot. I'm Jiraiya, and I think, hey, I'm Jiraiya for Naruto. Naruto's pretty good. He's a pretty good boy. He's trying real hard. I think you'll have a new appreciation for your dad, who I don't know that that's your dad. But I have my suspicions. It's a weird, weird thing. The whole time travel thing has just been very odd in the show. This is very, very strange. All right, so let's build our right leg and then we'll build our left leg. We need these here. Finishing up our legs, working on that. But yeah, I haven't been paying attention to what's coming out. I mean, obviously, I know that we are going to get more laid-back camp next year. I know we're getting another season. I know sometime next year we're getting another season of a regular at Magic School. I know that's coming because people will let me know. But yeah, I haven't been really keeping up on like what's good coming out. I don't know how long the season of My Hero is, but I don't know how many more. I think we got some more Doctor. We got some more Dr. Stone, so that'll be interesting to see where that goes. There's the Demon Slayer movie is next year, so that'll be rad. I hope that gets a limited release, but I don't know if it's going to get a limited U.S. release. Otherwise, I'll, watch it any way I can. But I have not seen Stampede. There was a screening in New York that was subtitled, but I just did not have the energy to go to it. It was a Saturday night. I would have not been able to stream and just didn't have the gumption. But I would like to see Stampede because I hear good things about it. So I would like to see that movie. As I said, hearing some pretty good stuff about it, but I don't know. Didn't watch it. We got a little time left in the stream. Anything you want to chat about? Now's a great time to let me know in the chat. You want to ask me something? You want to see what's going on? As I said, next stream will be Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be streaming next week. I'll be streaming Monday and Wednesday and maybe Saturday. Definitely this Saturday. But the week after that, I'm not sure. It will be a decision I make kind of like that day if I want to, depending on how tired I am at Anime NYC, which I'll be working at, if I want to, go to Brooklyn on Saturday. I also, can't tell you for sure that, I'll be able to be there in time, so I might just not do that. As I said, kind of a game time decision. But I'll definitely be streaming next Monday and Wednesday with build streams from here, because I will have the time to do that. Especially on Wednesday, because all I have to do on Wednesday is check into my hotel, move some stuff over there, and then come back here. And then also watch all of the Wednesday. I'll be able to watch all the Wednesday anime during the day, as it comes out, instead of scrambling between work and the stream to watch as much as I can, or after the stream for the Thursday stream. So that'll be good. I'll be excited about that. But yeah, anything you want to chat about tonight in the last couple minutes of the stream, let me know. I always try to end with something that you all want to talk about, or anyone wants to talk about, whatever. And if not, that's cool too. Okay with that. I'll just ramble for a couple more minutes as I try to complete both these legs. That's the goal before the stream ends, is to finish these legs. I found out today that I get to stay gainfully employed, so that was a celebratory thing from today. Dirty, congratulations. Very happy for you. Congrats on keeping that job. That's awesome. Peace of mind. keep doing it. Keep working at it. I'm happy to hear that that's going to continue for you. That's awesome. Bastion is free on iOS. Yeah. So, Bastion on iOS generally is play for free with an in-app one-time unlock purchase. So, like, you get to try it, and then you can unlock the rest of the game, and that usually costs money. For the rest of the year, that unlock is free. So, get the game, and then go into the settings button and tab over and unlock it, and the unlock is free. So, it's always been free-ish, and now it's like freemium, and now it's like totally free. So, you can get that if you want to do that. I lost my job. Oh, okay. So you lost your job due to a discontinuation of the position. Okay, so yeah, you got they got rid of the position, but then they gave you a promotion to a different position, so they wanted to keep you. So you're staying with the company. That's great, but that is scary when they're like, hey, the thing you do, we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want you to do that here anymore. We don't want anyone to do that job, but we want you to keep doing other things. That's good. It can be scary, but it's good. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Tomorrow is my busiest day of the week, so that is I'm not looking forward to that. I get up an hour early, start work an hour early, I should say, and then relax a little bit, and then go to my other job, teching. Tomorrow should be pretty straightforward. It's an improv show, and I forget what the other part of the. Oh, it's a podcast recording. So making sure that the podcast sounds good is important, obviously, but the actual show itself is very easy. It's just making sure it sounds all right. So podcast, no problem. And the improv thing is like a bunch of improv sets, and I'll black out, and hopefully they're like, oh, we'll have some bits. We're going to do some jokes, and hopefully their jokes don't involve any tech needs, or if it does, then they tell me. Yeah. All right. So we finished legs. We got to do our waist, and then put it all together, and then build our backpack, and then we're going to build, so on Saturday, we'll do that, backpack. We'll start on the weapons, and then we'll start building the new weapons. But we are going to complete the weapons that came with the kit, even though they're like, oh, ignore that and do these weapons. Well, we're still going to do the ones that came with the kit, and then we will do the alternate. So we'll have, and so that way, somebody that gets this kit could do both, which is whatever. But yeah, we finished that. And that, as I said, is going to do it for the stream. Sorry, I need this here. Yada, yada, yada. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time, and I hope you did as well. Next stream, as I said, is Saturday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Same stream time, stream location. You know the drill. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you'll spend some of your Saturday with me. Harold, H-Bomb, and friends mentioned, so check our Discord or check him out on Twitter to see when he's streaming for Extra Life. There's still plenty of people doing Extra Life out there, so if you haven't donated to anyone, now's a great time to do that. Join a stream, join a small stream, check out Giant Bomb's Extra Life page for the Giant Bomb community, not just the friends we know, but the friends we don't know. Giving $20 to someone that's trying to raise $100 is a fifth of the way there. Danny is doing tonight, you're right, Dirty. But yeah, if someone has a goal of $200 and you give $15, you're really helping them out. If someone's trying to raise $20,000, yeah, everything that helps, but as well. But help a small streamer out, says this small streamer, including watch this ad. If you get this ad that I'm going to play right now, watch it. If you don't see an ad, Don't worry about it. But thanks so much for watching the stream. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you next time on the Build with Baer Workshop. Bye-bye.